Okay, now what we're going to do is go ahead and just completely edit a photo and add the watermark into it. So what you need to do first is go up to File, Open, and then find whatever picture it is that you want to edit and watermark. So I'll just get one of mine that I did yesterday. Let's see, this one. And I just love this image. It's a Bugaboo stamp, one of the Stella stamps, and the sentiment just cracks me up. Anyway, okay, so what you want to do once you have your photo open is go over to your tool icons and select the rectangle select tool. Click that, and then come over and bring your cursor up to one of the upper corners or one of the outer corners that you want to use. Click and drag the box. Now with GIMP, as long as you are inside the selected box, you can actually move it around to the location that you like the best. If the box is too small, you can enlarge it. If it's too short or too narrow, just go to one of the sides and see how it brings up the yellow lines. That means it will be moving only the side that those lines are touching. So this one will take both of those. This one just takes that one, okay? So I'm pretty happy with the way that is placed. You move it just a touch, I think. Okay, and then what you do is you come up and click Image and go down to Crop to Selection. That crops out all of the outside stuff. And go back up to Image and Scale Image. Now make sure that this chain is attached like this right here. That maintains the proportions between these two dimensions. And what I set mine at is whichever is the largest dimension, I set that one at 800. It just makes for a good viewing size, and it doesn't take too terribly long for it to load on most computers. Then you just hit Scale. After you have the largest dimension set at 800, you hit Scale. Now it looks like it's going to be a teeny tiny picture. Don't freak out. This is when you go up to View. Let me make sure that's in screen. View, and go down to Zoom and over to 1:1 or 100%. That's the size of the picture that will be showing up on the computer. So that's not too bad. I think that's a nice size. It shows good detail, but like I said, it doesn't take too long to load. Now because I do use kind of a cheapy camera, even with my great light box that I made and I love dearly, I still need to bump up the contrast occasionally. So I go up to Colors and Brightness and Contrast, and then just play with it until the color is actually the correct color on the card. And that's where we are. Okay, then I just push OK. And now I'm happy with the way it's edited, the way it's scaled, and the color tones. If your camera is fantastic, you won't have to worry about that. If it's like mine and just kind of a hobby camera, you might need to play with the other color settings. There's the curves and brightness and contrast. Those are the ones that I play with most often. If you have questions about color, let me know and I'll try and find a picture that needs to be corrected, and I'll show you how to use some of those. Okay, but like I said, I'm happy with the way this is colored, scaled, and cropped. So now it's time for me to open up my my watermark. So I go up to File, hit that, and then come down to Open as Layers. There. And then you go into the file where you remember you have placed your watermark. That's why I said it's so important to make note of where that goes. And click on that, then I'll come down here, and I'm going to use my beige watermark on this one. Okay, you can see that this is, it opens right just dead square in the middle of your picture. It's not where I want it, so I'll come over here to the Move tool. That's the little four-way arrow. Click that, and if you just click that and then go to move your watermark, well, it worked that time. Okay. This is what happens a lot of times. It will move the background picture. So what you want to do is after you open your watermark and you hit the Move tool over here, come to your Tool Options tab and then click Move the Active Layer. And then it only will move whatever layer is active, hence the name. So then I'll move it down there, which I like that placement. And then I'll go back over here to Layers. And that's where I'll play with the opacity. And I like that. Okay. Now, if the watermark is too large for your image and you don't like the way it's working, come back over here and go to the Scale tool, which is a small box with an arrow pointing down to a larger box. Click that, and then click on the watermark box. Now, that will bring up another small toolbox. Make sure that, again, the chain is clicked. That maintains proportions. If you don't, and you just do this, it just makes it short and or it just squishes it. So make sure that that is clicked. Come down and just move it to about the size that you would like to have it and press Scale. Now, after you scale it, it looks really pixelated like that and kind of wavy. Don't worry about that. It doesn't look like it in the completed picture. Now, if you'd like to move it again, because once I scaled it, it kind of went off center from where I wanted it, just go back over here and click on the Move tool button again. Then come over and click on the watermark. Now, it has to remain within that yellow dotted line. If you take it out, it won't show up in the final picture. I don't think, or at least it hasn't in mine before. Maybe I was doing something wrong. But I kind of like it right there. So that's where I'm going to leave it. Now again, it's time to export the picture. But because this is a regular picture, we want to export it as a JPEG file rather than a PNG, as we did before for the watermark. So you still go up to File, come down to Export As, and I'm just going to do this one back in my Queen Bees. My Queen Bee folder. So you find the folder that you want to put it in, and I'll just do a quick name. So then after you've named it and placed it in the folder you want to find it in again, you go down to Export. Now this is when you do need to touch a couple of these things to export as JPEG. Go ahead and bump up the quality to 100%. That just keeps 100% of the quality and the resolution. Then you go here to Advanced Options. Ooh, scary, right? Advanced. Click that and just unclick Progressive. The way I heard about this, or the way I heard this explained, was that the progressive was when more people were on a slower dial-up connection. That way, remember how the pictures used to just show up bit by bit by bit, and it just kind of appeared slowly down the row? Most people are on much faster connections than is necessary to have the progressive for. So just unclick that, hit Export, and it's exported. Now, when you're finished with the photo editing and everything, just go ahead and hit the X to close it out. And then it looks kind of scary because it says discard changes or cancel. Since it's already been exported, just say discard changes because it has actually already been saved someplace else. As long as you have exported it to your folder and named it and changed the quality and unclicked the progressive, it is exactly the way you want it. Hit discard changes and you're done. And you're at Etsy. You can tell I'm shopping, trying to help do my part on the American economy. Anyway, I hope this helps. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Bye-bye.